Welcome to BandLab Plus Coffee. So it's time to wake up, wind up, and cue up with another excellent track. Today we've got Home by the Red Button Pushers. That's a band of 5 members, and they're here to press that panic button to make you go wild. So without further ado, to the left.
Let the music unlock your heart. It's time to collaborate. You're part of the family.
It's time to wake up, wind up, and cue up with another excellent BandLab track.
This is an excellent band name, by the way. It just makes so much sense. At the Dougstep, TheDougstep, out of Houston, Texas. Hey, I know Houston. A lot of good lab coats from Houston. Repping 1.89 thousand followers. Currently following 0 people. I love when BandLab does that. Temmie Newboy does that too. The song Home is part of their band Red Button Pushers, which if we get in here, we've got a lot of familiar faces. We've got the Dougstep, Publicity Seeker. We've heard that name on the show before. Fabase 2020, Rossman. I don't know if we have heard that name before, but Ross_man out of Melbourne, Australia, 1.58 thousand followers. And then, of course, legendary Grego at Spiv. So why don't we take a listen to a track by all of these talented lab coats? And guess what? They included the lyrics because they understood the assignment. Let's go. New original song from RBP about pursuing your dreams and boldly doing what you want. It's about finding yourself and fulfillment through doing what you love in your life. Never stop dreaming. Find your home. I love that we're starting out with oohs and woes. Acoustic guitar and electric guitar. Ladies and gentlemen, these sounds have been brought to you by compression. Otherwise, these two things couldn't exist in the same space.
In dreams I take flight, soaring through the night, above the earthly bounds.
Is the bass going da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum? It is.
I'm a traveler of dreams.
What a cool bass line.
I witness wonders untold.
Great vocal.
Over landscapes vast, where beauty takes hold.
Oh, come on, come on.
No fear of the future.
Oh, so good.
Hope in my soul. In this boundless freedom, I am reaching for the unknown.
Oh, I hear you.
Over mountains and oceans, my spirit it roams. To a place of solace, a place of peace to call home.
Gang vocals. Yes. With some electric noodling in the background. What's that little twinkling acoustic in the back?
In dreams I take flight, only hope in my core.
I love that the acoustic is the heartbeat through this.
Where my heart can truly soar, and with wings of hope I chase the setting sun.
Did we just add strings?
When my journey is done, no fear of the future, there's only hope in my soul.
What a great chorus. It's very Red Hot Chili Peppers meets Dishwalla.
In this boundless freedom, I am reaching for the unknown. Over mountains and oceans, my spirit it roams. To a place of solace, a place of peace.
I like the guitar starts to soar in the background. Boom, boom, boom. We know Dr. Snape, cool featured track. Love it. I knew it was going to be fabulous, and you sure didn't need my help to trend. Long live red button pushers. Those oohs in the background. You giving me that Hootie and the Blowfish? Come on. This is just all good things 90s for me. Yes. Oh, great call and response there at the end. Yes. So good. So good. Deserves every bit of the feature it gets. 885 plays. I bet we could get it further than that. 136 likes, one of which is our own. This song, Home, is uplifting. It is phenomenal. It is a masterclass in the fact that hashtag collaboration is key, and BandLab is not only a viable platform, but a thriving one with phenomenal musicians at every turn and in every genre. Thank you, Dougie P and the Red Button Pushers, for giving us such an awesome track. There are so many things to love. I'm going to do my best to pare it down to two. And you know what? I thought I had my two in mind, but then I heard the ending. So, two things I love and one thing I want more of. As a vocalist, I tend to tune into these things. And I know, we're not all vocalists and we all see things very differently. So I try on this show to tune into as much as possible during a track. Active listening is what we call it as producers or people who are putting together music or tracks. Active listening is this, and I'm not explaining it to those of you who know. I'm explaining it to anyone who may not. In music, active and passive listening, two different things. Active listening is the art of tuning into your music. Not tuning into your music and knowing, oh yeah, Ghost by Justin Bieber is really cool, or oh yeah, by Usher and Ludacris is really cool. It's the art of tuning in to the point where you go, oh yeah, by Usher has this little bell that's always playing in the background outside of all the other scents. Ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling. And, you know, knowing that when you tune in to Dougie P and the Red Button Pushers, you're going to hear a really unique, cool bass line behind everything that's being played as a building block, a rhythm building block to a track that is doing a lot of things and organizing them all very well. This is an excellent sound. Passive listening, on the other hand, is what a lot of us do when we clean the house or while we're at work, working at our computers. The music is on as a warm blanket, and we're just kind of letting ourselves be wrapped in it. And the great thing about a track complex and well organized like this is you can listen to it passively and you can listen to it actively. So that is the first thing I love. Didn't see that coming, did you? First thing I love is that this track is both active and passive. When I tune into this track, there are so many elements happening, whether it's the vocal stacks on what I'm assuming is Doug Stepp's vocal, the vocal stacks that include multiple melody tracks, and then there are harmonies coming in, call and response happening, or the excellent bass line that is doing more than you would think it's doing.
In dreams I take flight.
Dun, 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 which could have just been as simple as boom, 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 right? But this is a true bass player. They're like, well, how can I spice this up without sticking out, without unsticking from the rest of the track, right? This is excellent bass. These are excellent vocals. This is an acoustic guitar that's keeping a heartbeat, giving our ears something to latch onto for the whole song. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 right? So this is the acoustic guitar, dun, 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 but also the electric guitar that's giving us texture and flavor. If you are actively listening to this track, if you stop, if you put on studio headphones or monitoring speakers that you're listening through, or if you're listening through really detailed headphones, you will be able to close your eyes and you will be able to tell your brain, I want to hear bass. And if you focus on that bass line, suddenly it'll start to push through the mix and you'll begin to hear it more prominently, even though the volumes in the track never move. And when you're actively listening and you close your eyes and you're listening on these headphones, you can say, I want to tune in to what these vocal stacks are doing. Your brain, as long as you focus, will tune into these vocals and you'll begin to subtly split them apart in your mind and go, wow, that's not just him singing that once, that's him singing it twice. And one of them's over here or over here. And oh, we're in the chorus, that's him singing it 3 different times and then a harmony, but the harmony is turned down to the point where it blends with the melody, creating what sounds like one cohesive vocal. And only in certain parts does it poke out to add flavor and texture. Active listening becomes this adventure when you're listening to a song with so many elements. When you listen to the Doug Stepp, when you listen to any kind of electronic music that is an instrumental made by someone who's making it all from scratch, typically that has a lot of coming and going with sounds. When you're listening to metal music, especially newer metal that's melodic, a lot of different things happening. And then you'll hear it differently in simple stuff. When it comes to acoustic music with maybe just an acoustic singer-songwriter vibe, you'll start to recognize the different things the singer is doing, their inflection, their emotion. You can even start to hear the singer smile. That's right, you can hear them smile if you're listening actively, because you'll be able to tell what their mouth shape is doing based on their emotion and how words are delivered, because you've heard them deliver sad. Now you're hearing them deliver happy, and it's just different. You're like, I can hear you smiling. I know you're happy, or I know you're sad. Active listening is one of the coolest things in music, and Home by Dougie P and the Red Button Pushers creates an active listening environment that is so cool, but simultaneously creates a sound that can be put on while you're doing anything. This is a universal sound. In fact, when I step back from active listening and I begin to listen passively, I hear more Red Hot Chili Peppers, Dishwalla, and then I get transported back to the 90s to all those feelings. So when you pull back to passive listening, you get a vibe. When you tune into active listening, you get educated and you go on an adventure. That's the first thing I love. Man, that was a tangent, but how cool was it? the second thing I love, and I had a couple of other things. I love the dynamic here, but I gotta go with this ending when Doug Step starts the call and response on the vocals. Is he here? There it is. And we end the track with that. That's crazy. And here's why it's crazy. Because when we go to the other areas of the track, we do have vocal stacks, but nowhere in the song do I hear, doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but nowhere else in the song do I hear it as prominently as at the end when we have decided to do something completely different to pull you from the main experience and let you know the track is ending by way of really great woes. It could have just been the one melody layer. Whoa, 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 whoa. They could have just done that all the way to the end and it would have been fine. But instead, we get that tension from that response. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then we end on the more tense background one. As the guitars ring out. In fact, I even heard, I believe, a harmony in that stack. Man, that's high for 5 o'clock in the morning. But that is so cool. And the second thing I love. If there were one thing that I want more of, it's going to be simple. This track is great the way it is. I mean, I obviously, if you can't tell, I love this track. But if there were one thing I want more of, I think I want a more prominent dynamic shift. We have one right here. And we get that acoustic that shines through. But I think maybe a turnaround after the first chorus.
In this boundless freedom, I am reaching for
Let's see
the
here.
unknown. Over mountains and oceans, my spirit it roams to a place
Here
of
we go.
solace, a place of peace to call.
So I love that vocal kick. I really do. But I think if we're going to go with 5 minutes and 52 seconds on this track, which it never goes out of style, never gets old, I want maybe the guitars to cut out of this element to make it more dynamic. Guitars, or maybe, well, it's a live performance, so we don't really want to filter the drums. That would take us out of the experience. Somewhere in here, I need another shift, whether it's the instruments stopping during a verse to let a phrase ring out.
Only hope in my core. Dreaming of
So if we take that acoustic guitar, that's the heartbeat through there, and maybe at the end of a line we give it just a second of silence, something that just changes up a little bit, a little more flavor. So that acoustic heartbeat all the way through is great. And since we don't want to change it, since it is a heartbeat, maybe we pull it out for just a couple beats in certain places to put emphasis somewhere else. The dynamics in this track are great. I like them all. I love the live feel. And this track is just a masterpiece. It truly is. It gives me all the best vibes, takes me to all the best places, and really coming up with something that I want more of is as simple as wanting something to be taken away to let something else ring out, because we have sound through this whole song, which is what music is. But the absence of sound could make maybe one or two phrases in the track more powerful. Just something to think about. So everyone needs to jump on over to BandLab and not only follow at the Dugstep, but take a look at the red button pushers while you're there. Those 5 members, they all deserve your time and attention. Don't forget to do that. And, while you're over there, you might as well follow DJTatious on YouTube, BandLab, or wherever you choose to consume your social media. We are halfway to being able to have merch on the YouTube channel with t-shirt designs coming soon and coffee designs as well. Great job, team. Don't forget to comment 2 things you love, 1 thing you want more of, and we will see you next time.